The following is a presentation of the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the jam-packed Pyramid Recreation Center, the site of tonight's GOJHL playoff spotlight game, powered by Collins Clothiers for Game 7 of the Western Conference Final between the Chatham Maroons and the St. Mary's Lincolns. Just 5 days ago, the Maroons took a 3-1 series lead, a win away from winning the Western Conference. Since then, it's been all St. Mary's, as the Lincolns have put up 12 goals in 2 games, winning games 5 and 6 to force a Game 7 here today. These two teams are no stranger to a Game 7, each playing in one last round. For Chatham, it was a 2-1 win on home ice against Stratford, while the Lincolns took down the London Nationals here at the PRC by a score of 3-2. In that game and throughout the playoffs, Ryan Hodkinson has been instrumental to the Lincolns' success. In that last Game 7, Hodkinson scored a pair of big goals to propel his team to victory. In the playoffs, Hodkinson has led his team in scoring, putting up 11 goals and 11 assists for 22 points in 18 games. Over the past 2 Lincolns wins, St. Mary's has received a pair of goals from star forward Lincoln Moore. Moore has 3 points in these past 2 games and has generated chances time and time again to apply pressure on the opposing defense. In goal, Colby Buthausko has backstopped St. Mary's to its return to form in the series. Buthausko made 29 saves on 31 shots in Game 6 and will be instrumental if the Lincolns are to advance to the Sutherland Cup final. On the flip side, the Chatham Maroons arrived today trying to get back on track. After a great start to the series, the Maroons have lost the last 2 games by a combined score of 12-3. For head coach Richard Santos, this has meant reworking the lines for tonight's game as they go for a Game 7 win. Up front, Dylan Richter remains centering their top line. Richter has been their playoff scoring leader, notching 22 points in just 14 playoff games, driving the bulk of the offense at 5-on-5 and on the power play. On the back end, Ryan Van Netten's experience cannot be understated. The 2004-born defenseman has played big minutes in this series, averaging near 25 minutes per game, and has 9 points in 18 playoff games from the back end. From an experienced veteran, we go to a budding forward in Eamon Edgar. Edgar is a 15-year-old forward who was just selected in the 2025 OHL draft. He draws into the lineup for the biggest game of Chatham's season tonight in Game 7. In goal, the Maroons turn to Gannon Hunter. Hunter has been their stalwart between the pipes in the playoffs. Despite getting pulled in Game 6, Hunter has made crucial saves at crucial times all postseason long, and the Maroons hope he'll provide that again here tonight. Prior to Game 7, let's hear from the 2 head coaches in our coaches' comments. Here's Jeff Bradley from St. Mary's and Richard Santos from Chatham.
Chatham is, very dangerous on the rush. Very good power play team, and we had talked about at the beginning of the series. Our main goals was to shut them down on the rush and try to win the special teams battle. So, in the games that we've won, games 1, 5, and 6, I thought we did a really good job of that. So obviously that's still the game plan tonight. But as far as us, it's making sure we get a good start. Be physical. We think our forecheck is a big part of our game, so that's something that we'll stress right off the bat, and making sure we get to the net. And they have a really good D-core, really good forwards as well, but their D-core, that's who we want to make sure we're putting a lot of pressure on and making sure pucks are going in behind them.
Honestly, I'm a type of guy that's passionate, emotional, and when someone puts my back against the wall, I come out swinging. And I'm really hoping my team adapts to how I am. And the talk at practice yesterday was, we're not done. And all the pressure's on them. They're the higher seed. No one expected us to be here at this point. So go out, have fun, and get the job done. and have fun with it.
Tonight, it's the second Game 7 of the playoffs of the PRC, and the second for each of these teams. On the line, a berth in the Sutherland Cup final. Can St. Mary's overcome the series deficit and win the Joe Thornton Trophy as Western Conference champion? Or will Chatham set up a 2022 Sutherland Cup Finals rematch with St. Catharines with a win tonight? We'll soon find out. There are no two better words in sports than Game 7, and tonight we get the privilege of being part of one in St. Mary's. It's the Lincolns, it's the Maroons, it's Game 7 of the Western Conference Final, and it's a spotlight game. Puck drop is next on 519 Sports. Elzinga out through center. Cohen Bidgood back for Elzinga. Elzinga shot pad save Hunter. Bouncing puck on the rebound. Van Netten on it. Taken back now by Jacob McClellan. McClellan over the red line. Sends it in deep. Here's McQueen. Spence's shot. Bouncing puck. Oh, it just went across the crease and missed the net. Buthausko off the boards. Here's LaChance. LaChance up to the line. That shot gets blocked. St. Mary's out to center. Lee springs Vortman. Oh, and Vortman stopped by Gannon Hunter. What a chance for St. Mary's as Lee's shot misses the net. Vortman up to the line. Montesi now for Kalp. Kalp a shot pad save Hunter. It'll come back to Lee. Lee on goal, turned away by the stick of Gannon Hunter, and it'll go up and over the glass, out of play. Face-off won by Chatham for Chase Smith off the glass. Out to center, racing after it, Connor Hunt. Montesi trying to get back, and he will. Penalty coming up here. It's going to go to Connor Hunt. It's going to be for tripping. Kyle Morey walks the blue line. Morey, McQueen Spence one-timer sent high. Here's Lincoln Moore. Moore walking in, throws it down low. Bidgood tries to center. McQueen Spence, Morey scores! St. Mary's leads on a power play goal. It's 1-0 Lincolns with 4:30 left in the first. Puck comes back into the Maroons' end. Here's Campbell. Campbell cut off at center by Spagnuolo. Campbell drops it back. Here's Hunt. Hunt gets decked by Jacob Montesi, and the crowd is into it here in St. Mary's. Over the blue line, hit by Coops. Now down low after it, Richter. Dylan Richter. Hit by Coward. Here's LaChance. Ian LaChance for Ryan Van Netten. On goal, a shot. Stopped by Colby Buthausko, and he'll hold on. Edgar. Hit by Hodkinson. It'll come to Van Netten. Van Netten around the wall. Here's Matheson for Hunt. Hunt a backhand pass. Van Netten off the goalpost. And the puck will get sent up and over the glass, out of play. What a chance for Ryan Van Netten, but he hit the iron. Bassick to Ian LaChance. LaChance stick handles, sends it past to Gillis. Moore hits LaChance. Chatham wanted a penalty, they're not going to get one. Hunter leaves it for Forte Smith. Forte Smith sends a pass to Bassick. Bassick over the blue line. Bassick for Chadwick, a shot. Glove save, Colby Buthausko, and he'll hold on. It'll be chipped down the ice. After it, Forte Smith. Forte Smith for Truby. Truby sidesteps Morey. Morey swept his feet out from underneath him, and that's going to be a penalty against St. Mary's. Here's LaChance into the corner. Ian LaChance up to the line. Van Netten. Van Netten throws it on goal. Stop Buthausko. Rebound loose. Looking to clear the Lincolns. Here's Vortman. Starts the rush up ice. Van Netten stripped of the puck by Spagnuolo. It'll come to Jaden Lee. Lee over the blue line. Back for Spagnuolo. And on goal! He scores! Lucas Spagnuolo, short-handed. Lincoln's lead, 2-0. Up the line, not out. Edgar sends it to Campbell. Liam Campbell goes into the corner. Campbell back up high, Bassick, cross ice, Gillis. Gillis a shot, stopped by Buthausko, and he'll hold on. Roach back across, Gedney walking, shooting, just goes wide. It'll be chipped out to center by Connor Hunt. Chatham in with numbers. Hunt with Edgar and Fortier Smith. Fortier Smith scores! Chatham responds. The Maroons are right back in it. It's a 2-1 game. 3:47 into the second period. After it, Gillis, now Kucher. Kucher around the boards. Roach, now taken back by Burnham. Burnham leads the rush the other way for Chatham. Here's Chadwick. Chadwick is shot! He scores! Carter Chadwick jumps into the section of Maroons fans. It's 2-2, and we've got ourselves a game in the second. Throws it in on goal, turned away there by Hunter. Bassick after it. Cross ice pass from Moore to Coward. Coward, cross ice. Moore in the slot! Loose puck in the crease. That one just goes wide. What a chance for St. Mary's. Here's Hodkinson. Hodkinson up the line. Coops on goal. That one just misses the net. Moore around the wall. McQueen Spence back up to the line. Coward. Lincoln's pressing. Coops shooting. Blocked by Truby. Truby the other way. One-on-one with Coward. Truby is shot. Stopped by Buthausko. Coward off the glass out to center. Harding looking for it. LaChance after it as well. Hodkinson giving chase. Hodkinson hauled down. No arm up on the play. Bid good to the goal. Stopped by Hunter. Loose puck in the crease. Hunter covers up with Hodkinson in the vicinity. Now we get some pushing and shoving near the Chatham goal. Bid good and Hodkinson in close. And Chatham trying to keep them away. Won by St. Mary's. Chatham regroups. Harding, a pass for LaChance. LaChance, cross ice. Chadwick a shot. Save Buthausko. Rebound loose. After it, McClellan. Van Netten feeds it through center. Edgar on a 2-on-1. Edgar, Matheson couldn't pull the trigger on a shot. What a chance there for Chatham. McClellan gets a pass for Moore. McQueen Spence open. Moore to the goal. It just goes wide. End-to-end action in St. Mary's. McQueen Spence in the corner. Hit there by Edgar. Here's Hodkinson. Hodkinson down behind the net. A pass for Montesi, one-timer. Save Gannon Hunter. Sends it through to center. It gets cut off. Here's Campbell. Campbell over the blue line. Campbell into the corner. Campbell around the net. Playing it on the backhand. Liam Campbell. Walking, shooting, just goes wide. Truby out front, Richter. Big save, Buthausko. And he'll dive on the loose puck to get a big whistle for St. Mary's. Boardman off the wall, knocked down by Truby. After it, Campbell. Campbell tries to center. Up at the line, it's Bassick. Bassick walking, shooting. Save Buthausko, and he'll hold on. Josh Harding starts the rush up for Chatham. Harding over the blue line. Harding a shot, pad save, rebound there. Matheson couldn't bury it. Edgar back on it. Eamon Edgar a shot, he rung the post. What a chance for Edgar. Connor Hunt one-timer, broken stick. Matheson plays it off the wall in the direction of Eamon Edgar. Will Coward sends it back. Harding up to Matheson. Matheson. Harding fires a shot. He scores! Harding put it on goal through traffic. It finds its way through, and Chatham leads 3-2 in the third period. Blaine Bassick off the glass out to center. After it, Connor Hunt, he'll beat the icing, tries to put it on goal. Hunt back on it, on the doorstep. Big save, Buthausko. Here's Chadwick. Chadwick around the net, back up to the line, Fortier Smith. Fortier Smith walking, shooting, they score! A deflection out front. And do you believe it? Chatham's got a 2-goal lead on the back of Connor Hunt's deflection in the slot. Campbell the other way. Campbell over the blue line. Liam Campbell drops it back. Truby, Richter can't get a shot away. St. Mary's out to center. They've got numbers. Here comes Morey. Morey fires, stopped by Hunter. Rebound there. Bidgood can't get it on goal. Moore over the blue line. Moore to the corner. Moore spins it back up the line. Here's Coops. Coops a shot, put it high. Rebound there. Hunter across. He kept it out. Unbelievable. turned it over. Lee, back to the line, Montesi. Now here's Kalp. Kalp fires a shot. That one blocked. Loose puck on the rebound. It'll come back to Eamon Edgar. Edgar off the boards. Montesi. Now Hodkinson. Hodkinson holding. Bobbles. Gets a pass out. Hodkinson gets it back in the slot for Owen Kalp. He scores! Kalp gets the PRC back on its feet. It's 4-3. Just over 2 minutes on the clock here in regulation. St. Mary's down 1 goal after Owen Kalp made it 4-3. Jeff Bradley calls his timeout after an icing, trying to drop a play to find the equalizer late in this one. Draw will go to the right of Gannon Hunter. Extra attacker out for St. Mary's. Crunch time for the Lincolns. Vortman up the line. McQueen Spence holding. Lincoln Moore. Moore back to McQueen Spence. Shooting. Pad save. Gannon Hunter. On it Ferguson. Ferguson flips it out to center. McQueen Spence couldn't corral it. Here's Vortman for Morey around the wall. After it Bassick. Bassick. Spagnolo looking for it. It's tied up in the corner. Final 2 minutes of regulation. Bouncing puck. Vortman. Bidgood. Bidgood below the goal line. Bidgood wrap around. The puck just missed the net. And a collision in the crease sends Gannon Hunter down. Face-off won by St. Mary's. Forced out by Ferguson. Ferguson trying to get it down the ice. It gets blocked. Bidgood in deep. Gannon Hunter. Hunter trying to play it. Turns it over. Spagnolo shooting. Save Gannon Hunter. And he'll hold on. Spagnolo after it. Loose puck. Chance down low. Morey giving chase. 10 on the clock. McQueen Spence for Moore. It goes to the corner. Bassick off the boards. Here's Moore towards the net. It's blocked. Lee cross ice. He's blocked. Bassick down the ice. And the Chatham Maroons come up with third period magic. And they're Western Conference champions for the first time since 2022. The Maroons are headed to the Sutherland Cup final. A 4-3 victory in Game 7 on the road. And Chatham will go to the Sutherland Cup final as winners of the Joe Thornton Trophy and GOJHL Western Conference champions. What a season by the St. Mary's Lincolns. These fans giving them a well-deserved round of applause. 42-6-2 in the regular season, making it all the way to the conference final for the third consecutive year, losing in Game 7 by just 1 goal. The Lynx gave it everything they had all season long. What a series between these two teams. St. Mary's winning Game 1, Chatham winning the next 3, St. Mary's fighting back and pushing this series to Game 7. It was a fight until the very last minute, and Chatham comes away with the victory in the series 4-3, and in Game 7 4-3 to move on to the Sutherland Cup final. You could not have asked for a better matchup in the Western Conference final this season. The 2025 Western Conference Playoff MVP is Dylan Richter. What a postseason he had. Nearly 2 points per game, putting up 22 points in 14 games. Coming into this one, Richter terrific all playoffs long in the Western Conference. Blaine Bassick, Chatham Maroons captain, going to meet GOJHL Executive Director Tim Simmons for the presentation of the Joe Thornton Trophy. Blaine Bassick, a member of this Chatham Maroons squad the last time they were Western Conference champions, the only remaining member on the roster, now gets to lift the Joe Thornton Trophy high above his head. Chatham is your Western Conference champion once again. The Maroons win the Western Conference for the first time since 2022. That year, they matched up in the Sutherland Cup final with the St. Catharines Falcons as Bassick does his lap around the ice with the trophy. This year, they've set up a rematch of the 2022 final. It'll be Chatham and St. Catharines duking it out for the Sutherland Cup. All that coming next round on 519 Sports as the Maroons celebrate their 2025 Western Conference Championship.
We knew that we had more in the tank, especially after the last 2 games. We knew what we had to do to beat them tonight, and I don't think we were going to let anything kind of get us down. So yeah, after they scored that second one, I think we all still believed on the bench, and that was a huge factor for us tonight.
Ricky, got him at the deadline. The guy has been absolutely unbelievable. Definitely a driving force in our team. And big guy over here, he's the man. We all look up to him in the room. He's definitely a driving force of this team as well. Just somebody, he's like a cornerstone of the Chatham Maroons.
Our fans are awesome. The city of Chatham's awesome. We know we have their full support. You saw tonight the crowd they brought on the bus, and they were loud tonight. I heard a lot of "Let's Go Chatham" chants, even more over the Lincoln's chants. So it's awesome, and obviously we packed the barn pretty good on Sunday nights. So yeah, it'll definitely be awesome to see how packed it is and the support we get for the final.
Credit to my line mates, Chadwick and Chancellor. We play good together. Can't do it without them. Means a lot, but it's a team award. Can't do it without them, and yeah, I appreciate it. We were up 3-1. They came back and forced a Game 7 in their barn. It's tough to play in here, and we were able to come out, handle their storm, and we basically took it to them after when it was 2-0, and we were able to come away with it. So yeah, proud of the team for that.
They're a good team. We just stuck to the game plan, had confidence throughout the whole 60. We got down early, but we never gave up, and we knew the outcome was going to be good, and we're happy we won.
Coming into their barn, we knew that their fans are crazy. I mean, obviously we saw in Game 6 there in our barn, they brought a fan bus down, and we just saw they're passionate, and we kind of wanted to bring our own passion in Game 7. We kind of knew coming in that it wasn't going to be easy throughout the whole entire series, and yeah, Gannon Hunter, I mean, there's not much else to say about him. He stops the puck and keeps us in the games, and he did that exactly tonight, and can't say anything more about him. Bernie kicked the puck out wide, and I came across the middle and just saw that his blocker was open, and we talked in between the first and second there that don't shoot glove, shoot blocker, and I did just that and kind of picked the corner, and it was down 2-1. Obviously, I wanted to get the goal and tie the game up, and I feel like that was a big turning point in the game, and we just had all the momentum from there.
Like everyone knows, we're a young group of guys, and it takes a lot of perseverance throughout the season. I think that what we did throughout this whole season just showed how tightly bonded we are, and what we've done through these playoffs so far just shows how good of a group we have. Just to do it for Chatham, I mean, it's just such a great place to play, such a great barn. The fans are just unreal, like you see it. Just a great community to be in, and to do it for them, do it for us, it's just unreal. Can't wait to bring it home to Chatham again. I'm just super grateful to have these guys surrounding me, and just to have them just be unreal players like the players they are, and just play the way they play. I mean, it just makes it super hard for other teams to counter them. I think it's just something that we have in our toolbox that will help us get to where we want to be.
At the end of the day, I think we're just a team that puts our head down and work. I mean, that's the game plan every night. We go out there, and I think the game plan is to just put our heads down, work, get on the forecheck, hit, get on their D. We knew their D were hurt, and I think that our game plan worked. We obviously knew they were a resilient team and started to come back after being down 3-1, but I feel that we bounced back after losing 2 straight, and obviously it showed tonight, coming out with a huge win. Obviously, Gannon Hunter, like, no words for that guy. That guy is unreal. He's been our backbone the entire playoffs. We obviously have a great goalie tandem, but Gannon's been spectacular all the playoffs. I thought our D played a spectacular game tonight. I thought we got pucks up north, got in the zone, battled. I didn't think we made too many mistakes on the D zone. I think we played a great game. Blaine Bassick, obviously a 20-year-old, great game. Ryan Van Enden, great game. Connor Hunt, great game. I think our vets stepped up the most, and I think that was the game plan. Rich told us before the game that our vets had to lead the rookies, and I think they did that tonight for us.
After Game 6, during like the second intermission, I think hopes were pretty low, and people came in and they just said we need to win this period. And Game 6, period 3, we came out, we won the period. Then yesterday, we had a rescheduled practice, and might have been the best practice we'd had all year. And then obviously today it was, it's Game 7, anything can happen. And yes, we were the underdogs, but from like halfway point in the season, we had the best team in the league. So, yeah, I just. So we were pretty happy, and we had a lot of belief in the room there to get it done in Game 7. Dylan Richter and Gannon Hunter are both great players, and they helped us win.
They've been our two best players in the playoffs, 100%.
And the bus is leaving. But hopefully they can continue to be our best players in the Sutherland Cup Finals, and hopefully we can win it.
See you soon, Sutherland Cup playoffs.
Chatham's rolling.
Oh, try not to cry, actually. So, it means the world to us. It means the world to me. Those coaches come in, day out. We do game film together. We're with each other. Honestly, I think the team took my passion on. And I know sometimes the passion can go overboard and it looks crazy on the bench, but that's how the boys respond. There was no quitting us tonight. We got to our game plan. We stuck to our game plan. 5-on-5, we thought in the first period that we played a good 5-on-5 road game. And then we just built on that from there. We didn't let this dictate who we are. So the boys were pumped. The boys were live on the bench, and I give all the credit to them. We talked about it. We can't get too high and we can't get too low. And I think this series was all about the highs and lows, the momentum swings. You know, they win game 1 4-0. We come swinging back with 3 straight wins, and then all of a sudden things start going like snowball effect is what we called it in our room, and we were doing everything we could to stop that snowball, but we took 2 big losses. But the biggest thing was our vets. Our vets came ready to play. I want to thank them in particular. I had a lot of coaches reach out to me, and I've reached out to a lot of guys. And one of the biggest thing that sticks out to me was Chris Lazarus told me just get to our identity first. Whoever gets to the identity first is going to win this game. And that was his message when Saginaw won the Memorial Cup. And that was what I was preaching today. And then we had another coach that reached out to me that said, you know, your rookies have got you to this point, but this is just too big of a hill for these young kids to get you over. The vets need to step up, and I think you've seen today the vets stepped up.
Chatham's a great team, and you know, we left it all out there. It was just, you know, a goal short, and you know, a couple unfortunate bounces in the third period that we couldn't quite overcome. But you know, you got to give credit to Chatham. They you know, they weren't down when we were up 2-0, and kind of had maybe, you know, a little lack of focus for, you know, 5-6 minutes that got them back into the game, and then you know, they gave us a real good push in the third. You know, we tried to battle back. You know, Owen with a nice goal at the end there, and then a couple pretty good chances, 6-on-5, but just wasn't meant to be. And you know, you got to tip your hat to Chatham. For Ethan Coops to come back, I coached him when he was 17. Then he went away for 2 years. So to have him come back, you know, it means a lot to me. Kind of close that chapter. You know, he was a good player back then, and came back an even better player. But you know, remained such a great kid. And this is the team he belonged to, and a team that loved him. And you know, all the players are so happy to have him back. The coaches as well. And then, you know, Ryder Livermore with, you know, such an unfortunate ending to his career with the Lincolns, you know, with that injury. But it was kind of his, you know, coming out party last year in the playoffs. We knew how valuable he was, but for everybody else to see the value he brought to our team, he really was kind of the heartbeat, and a loss that we had a really tough time overcoming. Jacob McClellan, man, like, we didn't know much about him coming in. I know he's from Kingston area, and he'd kind of been around in the Tier 2 loop, but you know, we soon learned that, you know, he was all about the team, and you know, did anything we asked on the ice. And but his biggest impact was in that dressing room, and the friends he made in St. Mary's. And he truly loved being a Lincoln, truly loved building in St. Mary's. And then Spags and Lee, like Luca and Jaden, you got to mention them together. They got here as first-year players. You know, they seemed to take something positive from every veteran, you know, before them. And man, oh man, like, we've gone to 3 conference championships in a row, 1 Sutherland Cup, and they were really kind of the cornerstone of all that. To see what they become as young men and hockey players is it's amazing, and we're so proud to be associated with them, and the on-ice success that they had. Really, nobody deserves it more. So, man, Chatham's a really good team, and it's hard to swallow regardless, but easier to swallow when you don't beat yourself, and we didn't beat ourselves. We, the guys that played, I mean, they left it all out there. They did everything they could to win, and it just came up short to a really good team. Like, that's a really good group of players that's been put together, and we didn't get a shift off. You know what I mean? It was D-core that's unbelievable, a really good forward group, and Gannon Hunter made the saves when he needed to. So, obviously disappointed and hard to swallow and stuff like that, but we didn't beat ourselves. We did everything we could to win. It just, sometimes you just come up short, and sometimes it has nothing to do with you.
What a clip, eh, Darren?